Your hit music is on 102.7 WMOM, Pentwater, Ludington, Rothbury, and all of West Michigan. It's 8 o'clock. Good morning and welcome to Leading West Michigan, a show about success and featuring local leaders and people in local business. And now here's your host, Ryan Howe.
Good morning, everyone. We have a great show for you today. I'm Ryan Howe, founder of Summit Business Guides, where I help businesses with strategic and succession planning so they can grow their businesses faster than they ever thought possible. You can learn more at summitbusinessguides.com. So this show is all about learning about our guest's leadership journey, and joining us today is Julee Sarto, the Rotary Club of Ludington's newly minted president. Good morning, Julee.
Good morning.
So, I could not have asked for a better day out here that we're having weather-wise. I was actually out before I started today. I went down to the Stearns Park because I saw that there were some storms, and the lake is getting tons of lightning, at least first thing this morning. So I think hopefully it'll blow past, and we're going to have a great day here in Ludington. So you are a native, as in you are local Ludington through and through, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I lived in Holland until I was 12. My maiden name is Van Alst, so I've got the Dutch costume and wooden shoes.
Yeah. Oh, so I haven't. So, are we going to have a demonstration at Rotary for maybe lunch or something? No, probably not.
I wasn't a Dutch dancer.
Okay.
No.
So, do they just issue those to you down there?
Yeah. Well, when you're a little in elementary school, they have the Volks Parade, I believe it is, where all the elementary schools are in the Tulip Time Parade. Oh. It was a big thing.
So why did you, what was the reason for moving up here with the family? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, we would vacation up here. My dad, who was the assistant superintendent of schools in Holland, decided to make a career change.
Okay.
And we moved up here in 1982, I guess it was. I started junior high.
Okay. I won't tell you what grade I was in at that time.
I do not want to know.
Yeah, because there wasn't a grade.
I know.
So what was that like having, again, you said the assistant principal?
He was the assistant superintendent.
Okay, so what was that like? Yeah. Did you even think about it when you were younger at that point?
No, I remember going to visit him, and at that time, the Alpha people were a big thing. Okay. That's all I remember is going. He had the Alpha people things on his wall. But then we moved up here, and he got into insurance.
Okay. Well, that is a change. I actually had one of my teachers when I was at Mason County Eastern. Used to teach science, and he made the transition over to insurance too. Maybe there's something to that. It's a track we don't know about.
Yeah.
So when you got up here, what was like the transition? I mean, that's a tough time for any at that age, anyways. Let alone having to change schools.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question because junior high is brutal, no matter what. Yeah. But luckily, actually, for at that time in 1982. All the elementary schools would all come to OJ. So it was kind of a good time to join because then not everyone knew each other.
Oh, okay. I got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Unlike Mason County Eastern, where it's the same of us. We showed up to kindergarten. We all graduated out there, too. So
I know.
I know. It's wild. Okay. So how was it, though, when you got in there? I mean, school... was it a smaller school than the one you were at down there, or about the same size?
No, Ludington's a lot smaller.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think in junior high how big the grade was. I mean, our graduating class was, I think, about 100. So, I mean, it was good. I was class brain in junior high, which was pretty rough. Not exactly the thing you want to get voted.
Oh, that's too funny. Was that were you a raise your hand type person in school?
Oh, absolutely.
So you're one of those.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
I got it.
Still am a nerd and proud of it. But
no worries.
Yes, that was
Takes all types to
It's not easy to be voted class brain when you're 12.
No.
That's
I can just imagine on that too.
Favorite.
Okay.
No.
So, and then got into high school. So one of the things that I have on here is where you got your degree, and we'll get into where your college and everything, but was like poli-sci, into political science and business, which I thought was interesting. Is there anything in high school that spurred you, like you got involved with, that helped you make that transition? And I'm just curious, what happened in high school that would have made you go for that degree?
Well, I wanted to be a lawyer. Forever.
Okay.
So in high school, I was trying to think about how to talk about this today.
Okay.
I think the best, I had good grades in high school. but I made some pretty bad decisions. I believe that the term that my mother used was crooked shoes, because if she told me to walk a straight line, I'd put on crooked shoes.
Okay.
So
All right.
I kind of was a little bit of a rebel.
Okay.
But as far as why I chose political sciences, I wanted to be a lawyer. That was what I wanted to do. It was my dream.
So we had Brandy Miller on here a couple weeks ago, and she said, her family was talking about lawyer, and she was down the line because she was like to argue. Would that be similar to you, or if you were always maybe taking a contrarian view to things, and you wanted to be able to argue your points?
Yeah, a lot of what you do in political science, getting into the college years, is debate and healthy debate. So yeah, I guess I never really thought that I'd love to argue, but I think debate's healthy, and yeah.
Okay, all right. Because when political science, I've only run into a few people who have had political science degrees, and none of them are in politics or the sciences. So I just found that was interesting that they had that. So the rest of your time in high school, again, graduated, and it looks like made your way on to Hope College. How was that college experience with Hope?
It was good. I do want to venture a bit back to high school,
for
because
sure,
I think
absolutely.
in what you had asked about is some kind of mentors.
Yeah.
And I think it was 3 years ago yesterday that Rick Chapman passed. I got a job at Chuck Wagon in 1984. I was 14 years old. Rick had just purchased it, so he was in his early 20s. And he and Larry, who unfortunately we lost not too long ago, if there's a mentor, and I don't know if you've ever had, but my sense of humor we can thank for Rick and Larry Chapman. Rick also taught me more about people and business and ethics and working. So it may not be a mentor with regard to sports or maybe academics, but he's sure to teach me a lot about business and people and how to run a good ethical business. I hope that makes sense.
No, that's great. So if you're just joining us, we're talking with Julee Sarto here on Leading West Michigan. I'm Ryan Howe, and this show is again all about learning about our guests, their leadership journey. And the thing with mentors, it's one of the things that I do. I cannot push hard enough, and for anybody who's out there, it doesn't really matter your age either. You can find mentors pretty much anywhere if you look for them. And if you don't know, and this is the key for anyone who's listening, if you're not sure where to go, it's one of the reasons that I have guests on like Julie and all these other folks. If you see her or you happen to know her, ask her. Say, hey, I'm looking to get into the following. Who do you think I could talk to? And I guarantee you she can pull a name out of the hat. Because I've mentioned her, I need the following. She'll give me like 3. So for anything. So just keep that in mind. So that's good though with mentorship. And they set you on the path also for college out at Hope. So
yeah, I went to Hope. My brother was a senior there. I went there. I was a little bit lost at that point, but knew that I wanted to be an attorney and I wanted to change the world. So that's what I studied. Worked hard. I worked 2 or 3 jobs.
Oh my goodness.
To put myself.
Was there a type of law you wanted to go into?
Yeah, I wanted to be in Washington, and I actually finished up senior year out in Washington, D.C., doing internships. One of the internships was with the Public Defender Service because I wanted to change the world, Yeah. And I was an investigator, and that was scary and eye-opening, without a doubt.
Oh, I can imagine. Now,
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to worry now you've got investigating skills and stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So, again, overall, the college experience was great, but after college, you didn't go into law.
I didn't. I took the LSATs. When I got back from Washington, D.C., I was pretty jaded and broke. And I graduated with a pretty good grade point average. I took the LSATs, which is the law school entrance exam. Did all right. I did get an acceptance to Valparaiso. And then I was pretty in debt with college debt. wanted to get a job, get in the working world, and kind of tired of studying. And so I said, well, go into the working world and then I'll go back and get my law degree. And I'm 52, and that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
No.
But it looks like from there, and this is the other part, that what I do enjoy about college, though, a big portion of going and getting into college, getting your degree and pushing through is, when business owners, they're looking to hire, the banks are looking at you for loans. Basically, anyone in the world, and they're taking a look at you. The fact that you were able to push through and graduate with a 4-year college degree, it speaks volumes, again, to your grit and ability to get stuff done. That's when I'm looking at these, anytime I've had to do reviews on resumes, and it doesn't necessarily line up with what they're trying to do. It's always a check plus, because it's like, okay, they accomplished something that, there's a vast majority of people still, only really have their high school diploma. The 4-year degree, 2-year degrees, they're more common, but it still is not moving up. So it speaks volumes, though, to still be able to get through and then be able to leverage that to move into, it says here you move back to Detroit next. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So you're getting further away from Ludington.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, was that intentional, or was that where the work was?
Well, some of it was where the work was. I ended up, actually, my father here in Ludington had done insurance, and then at that time he had moved on to an employee benefits firm in Grand Rapids, and I ended up getting into that field because he told me not to. So I did, of course I did. But I ended up, Detroit. There was an opportunity with Marshall McLennan.
For those don't know, again, we're continuing our conversation with Julee Sarto here. So for those that don't know Marshall McLennan, and it's one I had to go look up because I wasn't familiar. Could you tell me what they do and what they offer?
Marshall McLennan, especially at the time, was the largest insurance brokerage firm in the world, I believe.
Oh my goodness.
The major part of their business was property and casualty insurance, so really big commercial lines. I was in the employee benefits department, so what I did is help employers. The big 3 production companies were a lot of our clients, helping them with everything from health insurance to 401ks, disability, and everything in between. So it was a great job. I worked right in the the Renaissance Center. Sorry, I'm trying to be cool.
Oh, you're good. Use a nickname for it.
Yeah,
okay,
I think I'm
there you
cool
go.
for like 5 minutes.
No, that was cool. It was super cool.
Right. And at that time, Detroit was it was still kind of dangerous at night, but it was a good job. It was a good career. I had my oldest son, I had Robert, in 1995, and I was a single mom commuting from Northville to Detroit and putting my son in daycare for very, very long hours. And, that just wasn't
something you wanted.
It wasn't good for him, and,
Okay, so I know, and that's, that's unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast. You got to do what you got to do at those points. And the thing, again, just as I've had to talk to quite a few people about the decisions you made with your children and everything. Kids don't know what normal is, and they're very flexible and fluid, and they can this is just how I grew up. Okay, I got into the military. I learned how everyone had their childhood going, and none of us had quote unquote normal.
Right.
And everybody was for the most part pretty good and have done very well. So don't sweat that. So. Again, with the employee benefit, during that time frame, that must have been, especially there, a lot of union stuff you were working with as well? Or?
That's a great question. Yes, so much. So we primarily worked with human resources departments negotiating with unions.
Okay.
To help them, negotiate benefit packages. And at that time, especially, unions were definitely very strong. The big 3, it was late 90s. They were huge. And so we worked with a lot of suppliers, really, at that time.
Okay.
Big suppliers for the big 3.
Okay, that makes sense. So you were basically, again, as the ancillary to assist them to make sure they were help them as far as meeting their contractual agreements I'm sure that they probably had supplier agreements that they had to meet with the big 3 to be able to line those up to make sure that it was in line with the UAW, things of that nature. Okay.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And one of the things that you learned is really how to do comparisons to plans, not only for cost, but also for all the different benefit lines. And we did employee meetings during all the different shifts. I remember being pregnant with Rob and doing a meeting 3 o'clock in the morning, during shift change. And so you got to meet a lot of different people too, and speak in front of big groups, which you would think I'd be better at.
Oh, whatever. Whatever,
still
you're
nervous,
fine.
but
no,
yeah.
Again, for those just joining us, this is Leading West Michigan. I'm Ryan Howe with Summit Business Guides, and we're talking with Julee Sarto, the Rotary Club of Ludington president. Excuse me. So, and after that, so that went on for a couple of years. Looks like about 6 years or so, 5-6 years, and then you made the decision to make it back up here, back to Ludington. What drove that decision?
Actually, I was getting married.
Oh,
and yes,
it's always a guy or a girl.
It is, okay. Yes. So I came back, and at that time, the West Shore Bank was hiring for an investment professional, and given the experience that I had in 401k side of things on the benefits, it was a good fit, and so that was in 2000. And the investment department at West Shore Bank at that time was very small.
All right.
And I came in and worked there 17 years and grew that practice substantially.
So,
and I'm
question
proud.
for you: How would you? So you said they're very similar. What do you mean by that? As far as similar, because I'm thinking insurance, basically, in case something goes wrong, I get money or benefit or other areas, and then to the other side, we're talking about investment. What did you mean as far as with very similar? How's that?
I think that the similarities as far as comparing, how do I explain? On the insurance side, you're absolutely right. You're all about risk management, risk mitigation, or risk avoidance. And on the investment side, there's that too, right?
I was going to say, so mitigating risk. That makes sense.
Of course. But on top of that, the fun part of financial planning and investing is you get to help people with dreams, and instead of just talking about what can go wrong, you're talking about how to make sure that they can get to where they want to be for all the fun stuff, the good stuff.
Now, I imagine as a you wanted to be a lawyer, and you said you're a bit investigating as well. So I imagine your interrogation skills of your clients to get them to open up probably helps a little bit as well too during that time to be able to make that, especially considering how you took that with your degree, but then went into the benefits where you have to negotiate in and out and really be able to pull from people on those companies to be able to help with their benefits, I'm assuming.
I think that it's interesting that the way that you put it, because whether you're in employee benefits negotiating or you're working with clients in financial planning, or if you're working in Rotary, so much of what you try to do is figure out what sometimes people just want to be heard.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so whether it's on their investments, wanting to talk about markets, or whether it's in Rotary and talking about goals, trying to listen, and
listen and maybe help people say what they're trying to say, because they may not be able to articulate it exactly what they're looking for.
Or to try to find out what are they really afraid of? What are the real goals out for them? And oftentimes too with couples, you can end up.
I'm sure they always line up exactly with what they're both looking for, right?
No.
Yeah, no. That's definitely when you have people involved, you're going to have that. So that's interesting though, that transition begin where you went from again that poli-sci here. And again, you talked about the mentor as far as for business that you had there with Mr. Chapman, as far as and how they work, the team, they work together to get you to that point to be able to start thinking that way, taking that through college. But then you get into your actual work down in Detroit, where you now understand kind of what a benefit's going to be looking like to be able to and use your business acumen at that point as well, also with knowing people, to be able to apply that in that area there. I could see where you'd have been successful doing that, because that's a skill set that, again, it has to be developed. Business is not inherent with most everybody. It's something you have to develop. And specifically, the sooner you learn it, the more it has a chance to grow. So, I could see where you'd be successful. And then that transition back here, and we've benefited by getting you back up here.
Oh.
So it's time for our first break, though. So, again, you are listening to Leading West Michigan on 102.7 WMOM at home on your Amazon Alexa or your Google Home smart devices, streaming online at WMOM.FM and live video streams on the 102.7 WMOM Facebook page and WMOM YouTube channel. So we're going to take our first break, and when we get back, we're going to talk more about Julie's return and how we benefited from it. Okay.
Hey Mike, wouldn't it be cool to have a skate competition at the skate park to show off our skills?
You know, Adam, you're right. That would be really cool.
We could have t-shirts to give skaters when signing up and other cool sign-up items.
Well, when should we have the skate competition?
Maybe August 13th. You can register before August 4th to get your t-shirt at the event, but you can still register up until the time of the event.
Adam?
Yes, Mike.
Are you going to show off your sickest trick or routine?
Well, yeah.
Come to Ludington Skate Park on Sunday, August 13th at 1 p.m. to show off your moves. Use any skateboard or scooter for the competition. Ages 18 and under are welcome.
Register for free at Gordy's, Ludington Police Department, and Safe Harbor Credit Union during hours before August 4th to guarantee a shirt.
102.7 WMOM, along with our friends at AJ's Family Fun Center, are ready to make you a winner every Friday morning at 8:20 a.m. and every Friday afternoon at 12:20. Here's what you'll win: a family 4-pack, which includes 4 free cart rides and 4 free mini golf coupons. When you hear the cue to call, dial 231-480-1027. Be the correct caller and you're a winner. Good luck from AJ's Family Fun Center and your home for summer fun. 102.7 WMOM.
Did someone say $2 drinks? Applebee's has $2 Long Island iced teas for a limited time. Who doesn't love a good deal on drinks just in time for summer? Enjoy your Long Island with one of Applebee's delicious half-off appetizers during happy hour. Happy hour is Monday through Friday, 3 to 6, and every day of the week after 9 p.m. Head to Ludington Applebee's on US 10 right across from Meyer. Don't have time to dine in? No worries. Just order online at applebees.com or order with the Applebee's app for quick carside to go. If you're looking for a fun and fast-paced career, we've got you covered. Applebee's is hiring for all positions: cooks, servers, hosts, and dishwashers. We hope to see you soon, either as a guest or a new team member.
Keeping you updated with our community calendar here at Mom FM, underwritten by Lakeshore Automotive and Tire, Watson Motors, Community Mental Health, and McGee Insurance. Ready for it? Another magnet comes your way next.
From providing therapeutic counseling and tools to managing anxiety and depression to strengthening relationships and finding your sense of purpose, we are here to help you take back control of your life. Let us support you on your journey towards recovery. Call us today at 1-800-992-2061. That's 1-800-992-2061.
Randy Sarnowski with McGee Insurance, your friendly neighborhood insurance agency. We specialize in customizing our policies for you, your family, and even your business. For over 80 years, we have been here serving you. Call us at 231-845-5000. McGee, the guarantee you can count
Mark your calendar for a special ladies' night this summer. You are invited on Thursday, August 17th to an evening of charcuterie, a cash bar, purse shopping, live auctions, and networking to raise money for Lakeshore Food for Kids. Lakeshore Food for Kids is a nonprofit weekend backpack food program for preschool through 12th grade students experiencing food insecurity in the Ludington Area School District. This event will be held at the Stearns Hotel and Venue from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. If your organization has an event that you'd like to promote, for free, reach out to us. Mom's Fridge Magnet is a free community calendar of announcements and underwritten by Watson Motors, Lakeshore Automotive and Tire, McGee Insurance, and West Michigan CMH on 102.7 Mom FM.
It's Leading West Michigan, and we're back with your host, Ryan Howe, on 102.7 WMOM.
Welcome back. I'm Ryan Howe from Summit Business Guides, and we're continuing our conversation with Julee Sarto. Now, before the break, we had just started having a conversation about your time as far as moving back here. Yay us, we got you back. And you had started West Shore Bank as far as, again, what were you doing with them when you got back here?
I went into the investment services department, which at that time was very, very young. I wasn't, but I was 30. I also had twins during that year.
So we're up to 3 at this point.
We are at 3.
We're at 3 kids,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And so, I began that in the year 2000 and ran that department until 2017.
So how was that though? I mean, I imagine because you went from very broad, as we were talking about before, with the benefits package and everything going negotiate to very targeted, very narrow range for folks. How's that transition like in I'm just curious to know like how that went.
It wasn't easy. I'll tell you that, especially, I don't want to know how old you were in 2000, but it was the tech bubble. So at that time, people had gone through the 90s, and basically you could throw a dart at any mutual fund during the 90s and get double-digit return. So I had come into that department during 2000 when all of those funds that had been doing so great for so long were not. And so right away it was talking to people that weren't necessarily very happy. And it wasn't easy. It was not. And but you learn a lot about, again, listening to what they're upset about, giving a lot of education about investing, and also I gained some thicker skin.
Okay. All right.
It did. When people are unhappy, that's the most difficult thing. And sometimes you can't fix it, right? And I just want to fix it. Sometimes you can't. You just need to listen and not always take things personal.
So basically empathize with them to be able to help them get through that and understand.
Yeah.
Again, we're continuing our conversation here with the Rotary Club of Ludington President, Julee Sarto, and she's talking about her time as investment services West Shore Bank. And that, I have a friend of mine, and I'm slowly trying to convince him to start taking some money out of his account. They've earned it. It's time for them to start spending it. And he said something really prescient the other day, which I thought was, again, just reminding me where they're at. He was a small business owner. They had built this themselves, where they had built up this cash pile themselves over the course of decades, and they were so worried about, hey, taking away means something's changing at that point. And you can see we're trying to get those folks over the hump on that too, where and that's probably one of the more rewarding times when you get them to say, hey, you're there, you've done your part, now start paying yourself back, right?
Yeah. So a lot of my clients have been 20 years. In fact, I met with a woman yesterday that we've known for 20 years. We've raised our kids together. We've gone through times where we don't even talk about financial planning. We just talk about our kids. We've gone through hard times, great times. So it's wonderful. You become part of the family with people. But to your point, exactly, when it's the time to to be rewarded for everything you've worked for. And that's right at the stage where a lot of my clients are. It's time. But, what is so funny, as you mentioned, and maybe funny is not the right word, but to say to people, you need to spend this. We have been saving. You've been saving, working so hard. It's time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that vacation home. Don't leave it behind.
Yeah,
or do if that's your goal. But start
or even
living.
just start taking some money out so you can go get coffee.
Sure.
Just something to get started with it because you've earned that, right? So,
exactly.
Yeah, no, and I can see where you'd be great with that too. Again, I've known you, less than a year now, but during our time, you're questioning, but you're genuine in the way that you come across with people, and I can see where you have that. Where you'd be very good at that work with folks there. A lot of empathy coming out of you. So,
I hope so.
And more so than you would give yourself credit for. Which leads kind of my next spot here because you've been very active in the board scene, basically in boards in and around the community here, as far as some nonprofits, but also basically, would you talk to me about the first time you were approached on being on a board?
Yeah, it was when I was at West Shore Bank, and I was on the Main Street board in Scottville. During that time, I was still raising kids, working full-time, and there were several branches of the bank that I traveled to every week to meet with people. So it was pretty difficult just from a time perspective. Sure. That would be probably the first one. But really the transition was when I made a career change and decided to become an independent wealth advisor. And that opened up more time. And also the kids were all growing and leaving the nest. And I thought, and maybe some of maybe not just women, but men can relate, as children empty the nest, I thought it was going to be a lot easier. I thought I was going to feel more joyful and excited. And it was a lot harder for me than I thought. That sense of purpose, even though I had my career, was going away. I wasn't mom anymore. They didn't need me, and
ooh, no, they always
was
need
hard.
mom. It's a different. It's a
Yeah.
different version of needing mom. Don't everyone? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, it is, but you just all of a sudden, for the first time in 25 years, you look at yourself and think, well, what do I want? What do I want? And you haven't thought about that. And it was hard. So at that point, I went through a tough time, COVID, kids leaving. It was just a lot of isolation. And then these opportunities arose. And part of what I read about you is saying yes. Mm-hmm. So I said yes.
That's great.
And realized that all that energy that I had put into hopefully doing okay raising kids, and then this negative energy I was feeling, I thought, well, why don't you start saying yes to some good things and try to make a difference?
No, that
right?
makes sense. Yeah. For those just joining us, this is Leading West Michigan. I'm Ryan Howe with Summit Business Guides, and we're talking with Julee Sarto, the Rotary Club of Ludington president, about some of her time and when she first got started in boards. And for those that have been listening for a while now, you'll have heard me say this, where there's a time of giving back when you get to in your Maslow's hierarchy of needs, to where you've got food, water, clothing, shelter, you've got your job, I got your career, kind of where you're at, and then your family's good and taken care of, but you want to start giving back in some way, shape, or form in the community. And that's a completely natural progression to go through. And I'm glad you had the opportunity to say yes, again, for boards. That means you were around the right, again, you made sure to be around the right people, you had access to them, to be able to say yes to the boards, which, that's part I want to talk about here again, because you have quite a few boards, and we're going to cover a couple more in depth in the next break. So with that first board experience, how was it? Like, remember your first board meeting?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. In fact, I joked about it. I don't think you were at Rotary on Thursday.
Sorry.
Wait,
I was with Dan, so.
Okay. He's with my husband, so
Yeah.
that's all right. But I was never taught Robert's Rules of Order. Were you?
Yes.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know it sounds silly as for people that know that, but I didn't know how things were supposed to go. So that was a challenge in itself.
So the first time someone's like, someone make a motion, you're like, what are you talking? We just talked about it.
Right.
What's the second thing? It's like, hold on, wait, what do you mean table? What are all these things you guys are talking about?
Make a motion, second the motion, discussion, and then the vote, and then so anyway, that's just the logistics of a board, first thing, but also just I think the biggest thing with boards or any organization are those negotiation and listening.
Okay. And as far as, because you have we're getting ready for our next break here, but I think we'll spend a little time on this on the back end of that. That's absolutely true. The best boards have a wide range of, again, diverse individuals with diverse opinions, diverse backgrounds, and diverse reasons why they're serving with the board, which tends to lead to healthy conversation, and good direction to meet the intent of the board, because they do have a lot of oversight that they have. So you've been listening to Leading West Michigan on 102.7 WMOM, at home on your Amazon Alexa or Google Home smart devices, streaming online at WMOM.FM, and live video streams on the 102.7 WMOM Facebook page and WMOM YouTube channel. So we're going to take our next break here, and we come back to spend some more time talking about boards. I think it'll be exciting.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Kim and Kelly from Sister Bees, and we have a big announcement that we can't wait to share with you.
We now offer Michigan-made specialty mead at the Sister Bees Boutique. What is mead? It's a beverage made of honey. It's fermented with yeast. It's often called honey wine. Once fermented, sweet fruit, grains, and other spices are often added.
In fact, mead could be the oldest drink in the world, enjoyed by the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon.
So buzz on into the Sister Bees Boutique. We're located right on South James Street, and we're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
The store offers fun home decor, products crafted using the beeswax. We have local specialty gift boxes and free tasting of honey mustards, creamed honey, and more.
And once again, come check out our new mead selection. You don't have to be a royalty to enjoy this ancient beverage.
Sister Bees looks forward to seeing you soon.
Troy, can we keep the Bish's RV Customer Appreciation Month sale going longer?
It has been pretty epic, but it was only supposed to be for June.
We can't stop now. There's still amazing deals out there on new and used RVs.
Employee pricing can't go on forever.
True, but people are getting better in-season deals than ever, and that means a better camping season than ever before, too. Think of the children.
Don't pull the children card on me.
Okay, don't think of the children.
That's worse.
We can help more families camp and keep going with employee pricing on select RVs, 90 days all play no pay OAC, extreme discounts on all 2022s, and our trade anything specials, or not.
Fine. One more month of customer appreciation sale.
Yes, I knew you'd cave.
That was low.
Not as low as these prices.
Bish's RV is extending customer appreciation until July 29th. Get employee pricing on select RVs, 90 days no payments OAC, and more. Only until July 29th at Bish's RV in Ludington. Open during remodel while we expand our dealership, where memories begin.
Sherry here from Cluck Bucket. You have got to try our Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, the pretzel explosion. Our fresh made twisted pretzel, homemade mac and cheese, tender shredded chicken, boom boom sauce, and creamy coleslaw to top it off. If that doesn't sound delicious, then I'm not sure what does. If you're wanting something a little healthier, try Cluck Bucket's organic acai bowls. Available all day. You pick 2 fruits and topping like granola, chocolate chips, chia seeds, or coconut, and top it off with almond butter, honey, or Nutella. The perfect summer bowl. Acai bowls are eaten good. Visit Cluck Bucket downtown for delicious food from 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday, and serving breakfast daily from 9 to 11.
Randy here from Captain Chuck's. It's a big month at Captain Chuck's. Captain Chuck's has bait from Michigan companies including Moonshine, Dreamweaver, and Yak for all your fishing needs. Captain Chuck's also has the best salmon fishing rods, reels, and bait to score that big king salmon. Don't forget to snag up your Captain Chuck's shirts that are finally back in stock. Visit Captain Chuck's 2 on the corner of Jabavi Drive and US 10 for all your salmon fishing needs.
The conversation continues now on Leading West Michigan with special guest Julee Sarto, Rotary Club of Ludington president. Once again, your host is Ryan Howe on 102.7 WMOM.
All right, welcome back. And before the break, again, talking here with Julee Sarto, the president of the Rotary Club of Ludington. We're just getting conversations as far as boards and your first ones that you went through. And, you know, once you serve on one board, you tend to get thought of for other ones. How'd that go for you? Was that a...
It did. It kind of, all of a sudden, there were a lot of, it wasn't necessarily boards, just asking to join organizations like Zonta.
For those that don't know Zonta?
International Women's Organization, focusing on basically women's rights and empowering women, both locally and internationally.
Okay. All right.
So,
and I believe you were president of that.
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Okay. All
yeah.
right. And I'm looking, and it looks like again, Connection Point is another one that's drawn. What's Connection Point? What's that?
Yes, Connection Point's a local organization. I joined that board in 2018, I think, and. Connection Point is a medication-assisted treatment program. We also have a recovery living home in Ludington for opioid addiction, and also a lot of what we do now is alcohol-related addiction and recovery living. Very near and dear to my heart. I think addiction, our phrase with Connection Point is that addiction knows no address.
Oh, for sure.
Addiction doesn't care how much money you have or don't have, where you live, what race you are, what gender.
So that would explain why I saw you at the Leeward Coalition. You were there for Connection Point. Okay, got it. So
yep.
We're going to have Grace on here in a couple weeks to talk about that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Good.
So, all right, so you have that as, again, Connection Point. And then, again, I'm just going to go through a few of these here just to get your overall comment where we talked about, again, you're in Rotary. Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. We got to Connection Point. The Pierre Marquette Memorial Association Board.
Yes.
Okay.
Carlos Alvarado asked me to join, and our focus is to maintain the cross.
I was just out there yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, we had some sunshine. I want to go see how the beach looked out there and everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful memorial.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, if I may take a moment, we have a golf outing on Monday at Lincoln Hills, 9 holes with dinner or golf alone. And if you go to our website, which is puremarquetteassociation.org, and right now I'm kicking myself.
That's all right. They could probably
but
also call it the Lincoln Hills,
Call
too.
Lincoln Hills.
Yeah.
We still have room for golfers and for dinner only. Great cause.
That's great. Okay.
Thank you
No,
for
no
letting
worries.
me plug that.
No, please. Again, we got the Ludington Area Catholic Foundation Board.
Yeah, that was fairly recent, and just with the financial history that I have, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and I've been doing the whole numbers thing for a long time.
Yeah.
So they asked if I would assist in doing some of that, and that's been a great experience.
Yeah.
It really has, and honored. I'm so honored to have people think that I've got the ability to help with that.
So for those just joining us, this is Leading West Michigan. I'm Ryan Howe with Summit Business Guides, and we've been talking with Julee Sarto. She's the Rotary Club of Ludington president, and so having been been around you in meetings, and specifically as I'm a board member of Rotary, and watch you do your work there. There's Julee Julee we're talking to here right now, and then there's Julee that shows up to board meetings. There's a flip that switches with you, especially when we started talking budget. It's like you were like, I've got the following thing, and I was like, okay, I know why you're on boards now, and I know why people want you on there, because you are very focused and dedicated when you get into that room. It's not that you're not otherwise, but it's work, and that's one thing with boards that I think that I definitely want to remind folks of. It's work. You're supposed to be there to, again, hold the leadership and the folks that are running the organization accountable, but also help and guide them. So I could see where that would be helpful, where you've been helpful at times, where with maybe budgeting and things that the organization needs help with. That I'm guessing that's true.
Thank you for saying that. I think that no matter what organization you're a part of, there's a purpose. There's a purpose for why you're there, and these are all volunteers. And so we're all taking time for a reason. We have a why. Why are we doing it? There's a purpose. They don't cut
you don't get cut a check at the boards? No.
And so you need to just get back to, and everyone's time is valuable. So I guess, efficiency is important, and I do take numbers pretty seriously. I love my numbers. You can ask Mr. Sarto about that.
I'm pretty serious about numbers too, and I've asked him about that as well too. So I get you there. The next one I have on here before we get to Rotary is again, Women Who Care, Mason County. So I'm assuming it's Women Who Care.
Yep.
But if you could expand on that a little bit for what that actually is.
Right. It began a long time ago. Debbie Stevens, and there were several people that started it. And now I'm ashamed that I don't know.
But as far as what's the purpose?
The purpose of it, and there are several organizations, but Women Who Care, Mason County, once a quarter we get together, and it's usually at the United Methodist Church. Bring your checkbook, and here's how it works. We all come into a room, and we have if you want to have an organization that you'd like to be able to provide a pitch for, then you write it down. It goes into a basket. There are 3 organizations pulled from that basket, and then the person that would like to represent that particular cause goes up, gives a 5-minute presentation. 5 minutes, that's all you get, to talk about why you think your particular organization is valuable and what they do. And then we vote. And the organization that wins the vote, per se, we all write a $50 check.
Okay.
And it is amazing how much that is accumulated into thousands and thousands of dollars for different organizations. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah,
so if
really cool.
Anybody want to get involved, they could just reach out to you and be like, hey, how do I get into this cool operation here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mason, I think our next quarterly is August.
Okay.
But it's actually Ruth Ann Kyle. I'm so sorry if that I didn't absolutely. She is really kind of the head of the organization, and couldn't.
That's all right. I know I'm putting you on the spot with some stuff there. Trust me.
No, that I should have known.
Okay, you know what? You can feel bad about yourself later, because right now we're going to focus on the good stuff you've been doing here. And we're getting ready to head towards our final break here. So when we come back, we talk about, really Rotary is one of the reasons we want to have you here, because, you've been with it. 2017 is when you basically started with Rotary. So I want to hear about how you got started with it here in a second, and the whole steps and everything that you got to be where you're at. Then we're going to just hear a little bit more about Rotary and what it does and its impact on the community there. So again, you've been listening to Leading West Michigan on 102.7 WMOM, at home on your Amazon Alexa or Google Home smart devices, streaming online at WMOM.FM, and live video streams on the 102.7 WMOM Facebook page and WMOM YouTube channel. So let's take that break, and we'll connect with Rotary when we get back. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Blue Moon, Bubblegum, Mackinac Island Peanut Butter Fudge, Chocolate Peanut, Truffles and Fudge, and Michigan Pothole. We all know these signature favorites from House of Flavors, right? Did you know when you work at House of Flavors Manufacturing, you get free ice cream to take home? House of Flavors Manufacturing is hiring for all positions in every shift. Take pride in your work and do it to the best of your abilities. Commitment and reliability. Career growth and development is available if you are committed and desire and achieve even more when you work at House of Flavors Manufacturing. Want to know something else? At House of Flavors Manufacturing, you get to work in the cold. With summer being here, I'm sure you would want to be working in a freezer instead of the hot, humid outdoor weather, and get paid an amazing wage for doing so. Interested in working at House of Flavors Manufacturing? Go to the House of Flavors Manufacturing website and click on the Careers tab and apply now.
Do you enjoy refunds on ATM withdrawal fees, building savings automatically, no monthly maintenance fees, and free digital banking? Well, Safe Harbor Credit Union offers a free checking account that pays 5% APY on balances up to $15,000. You can open your account within minutes. Innovative checking built on traditional values. Free Kasasa Cash rewards you for supporting your community. Some key features include high dividends, refunds on ATM withdrawal fees, no monthly maintenance fees, and no minimum balance requirements. To learn more, check out our website at safeharborcu.org or come visit us at our office at 5511 US 10. Member, owner, neighbor. Here, you're one and the same. Safe Harbor Credit Union.
Don't let your feet go naked this summer. Stop into Snyder Shoes and check out all the unique shoes. Snyder Shoes has everything from gorgeous Birkenstock sandals that are arriving daily to imported leather sandals from Italy, Spain, and Turkey in several different colors. Are you looking for new running shoes? Snyder Shoes has the latest brands with amazing styles and comfort like Hoka, Brooks, On, and even Ultra Running that's lightweight and durable. So check out Snyder Shoes, celebrating 85 years in business, and trust the professional staff to get you fitted for the shoe of your dreams in downtown Ludington and downtown Manistee. And remember, don't let your feet go naked this summer.
Looking to get your vehicle detailed inside and out? Then have Total Detail do it for you. Total Detail offers interior, exterior detail, ceramic coating, and even paint correction. Total Detail can even come to you whether you're a local or you're 150 miles away. Total Detail can do dealership vehicles, commercial, fleet, and even RVs. Total Detail details anything and everything, so give them a call at 231-852-3095. That's 231-852-3095.
Stay tuned for A Mom's Fridge Magnet, underwritten by Watson Motors, Community Mental Health, McGee Insurance, and Lakeshore Automotive and Tire.
Hi, this is Lori from West Michigan Community Mental Health. If you are looking for a rewarding career and have a passion for helping others, be a part of Renew, Rebuild, Recover. Go to WMCMHS.org and view career opportunities today.
Evan Allen with McGee Insurance. Cookie cutters are great when you're cutting cookies, but they shouldn't be used when trying to find the right insurance for you or your family. At McGee Insurance, we build our policies to fit the family in front of us, because just like you, we're different too. Call us today at 231-845-5000. McGee, the guarantee you can count on.
Pentwater is having a farmers market every Monday and Thursday at the Village Green in Pentwater. The farmers market will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please come see the offerings of the market. The Pentwater Farmers Market features the best products local farmers have to to offer. The Pentwater Farmers Market includes local wines, artisan cheeses, fresh fish, herbs, lilac starter plants, and more. If your organization has an event that you'd like to promote, for free, reach out to us. Mom's Fridge Magnet is a free community calendar of announcements and underwritten by Watson Motors, Lakeshore Automotive and Tire, McGee Insurance, and West Michigan CMH on 102.7 Mom FM.
Julee Sarto, Rotary Club of Ludington president, is sharing her success story with Ryan Howe on Leading West Michigan. The show continues now on 102.7 WMOM.
So, welcome back. Again, I'm Ryan Howe, and we're on to the final segment of our show with Julee Sarto today. So, again, this last bit, I just want to talk a little bit about with Rotary as far as 2017 getting started. What drew you to Rotary, and who dragged you to the first meeting?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Way before 2017, I went to a Rotary meeting when it was still at the Elks Lodge with Deborah Kennard, and it was so long ago. I bet she wouldn't even remember. But I just didn't have the time to commit to being part of Rotary at that time. So in 2017, when I was able to have the time, I asked to join, and I joined. And Linda O'Brien was president then, and right away they were looking for someone to help to do the weekly programming. I had no idea what I was getting into, which is a reoccurring theme with me. In saying yes, not having any idea what I'm getting into. I said, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
So I started helping with the weekly programming, which actually was so fun. So fun, getting to know so many people. And that's kind of how I got to be active in Rotary, really.
Yeah, Susan Evans got me.
Yeah,
she was like, hey, come to Rotary. I'm like, oh, let's give it a try. Oh, hey, this is pretty cool here.
It is way cool.
Yeah, it's a good time. So, but again, once you get in there, you got hooked, and now you're part of it. You've been able to really, again, guide as far as what who's been seen, who gets a chance to speak, the activity. But Rotary is real active in town here, right?
Very, very active. We're at, 80 members now?
I want to say that's about right. Yeah.
But especially in making the elephant ears, that's a huge fundraiser for us. We've got the holiday auction, which is a very large fundraiser.
And where do these funds go to?
Yep. The elephant ears, primarily the funds go to a few different things. To fund our Strive program, which if people aren't aware of, Strive program really is a mentoring program for high school students who may be struggling a little bit and need some guidance to help them graduate. It's amazing. And it's been going on, oh gosh.
And it's a partnership with Ludington, correct?
Area schools.
Ludington area schools.
Exactly. We do that. We hand out dictionaries to schools in three different schools: Mason County Eastern, Mason County Central, and Ludington. To the third graders. And I tell you what, if you're a member of Rotary and you're listening and you haven't done the dictionary distribution, it is so much fun. It is so much fun to watch these kids with these dictionaries and have them looking things up. And anyway, we do that. We do highway cleanup, which I did last weekend. So several of us go out on 31 and we clean up the highway there. And that's always interesting.
Yeah, I was out there the previous one. Me and the Redhead. We were out. Redhead's my wife, by the way. We were out there helping with that, and we take care of really just at the spur there for that first mile or so on the west side of the highway. There, it's a lot of fun because we had the robotics team come out and help us.
Yep.
The previous one, were they out for this one too, or is it Strive? Who did we have?
No, actually, I think we had one Strive member, and we also so we've got Rotary Park, which is very large in town. So many things that we support just in the community quietly as well. I would say are probably the most what am I trying to say, the biggest one that gets the most publicity would be the Strive program, I think. But
those students, when we get a chance to, because they actually come and have food with us once a year towards the end of that, and the dinner. Just watch, great interacting with them. It's so much fun, because again, we meet every week, we have some food, and we have a guest come through, and when we have the students, just a lot of fun to hear from them.
We also have scholarships for West Shore Community College. We gave a fairly substantial donation to the robotics program. And then there are the international projects like Hand Wash, which I think you were there perhaps, and that has to do with clean water. and wells. And I think, especially as we hear about what's happening with climate, that's going to be more and more important. And you had mentioned the pyramid of needs. What is it?
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes, Maslow, right? We're so lucky that our pyramid is so big, or built so well, that we're at the top with that whole emotional needs. There are people that just want water. And we help with that.
And it's one of the key things that is listed as far as one of the responsibilities that Rotary has taken on there, as well as far as international organization.
Yeah.
So is there any, again, we got about a minute or so left, or a minute and a half here. I know it goes quick, right?
It did.
Is there any thank yous you want to get as far as for folks around?
Oh my God, absolutely. So Jim Jensen has been an incredible mentor to me. And if any of you know Jim, he may not be as goofy as I am, but I think we complement each other well. Roger Wills, amazing mentor. Carlos Alvarado. I could go on and on. Dale Horowski, the president before me, and paved the way for me. All the volunteers, our board, Linda O'Brien, Nancy Fife. There's so many that do so much without asking for any kind of recognition.
Yeah, it's, you know, in the last minute or so we have here, just to wrap up again, thanks for coming out here today. It's been really great. And, it's obviously was a good choice having you to be president. It is, I know with your leadership, it's going to help continue to move Rotary in the right direction with the right level of humility that goes along with that. It's, the Rotary does have a lot here. And the thing is, with all the organizations, JCs, you can grab any number of them you want to grab within the community. It's about giving back. It's 100%. Yes, we show up, but I tell you, we all have an absolute great time, regardless of what we're doing. I'm out there flipping elephant ears, smooshing down some dough, or picking up trash on the highway. So, again, thank you so much for that and your leadership.
Thank you.
Again, I'm always looking for new leaders to have on this program and give them an opportunity to share their stories. I'm interested in leaders in every aspect of the community. So if you know a leader making an impact, go to summitbusinessguides.com/leadingwestmichigan and submit their name for consideration. And if you'd like to learn more about what I do to help organizations, visit summitbusinessguides.com, follow me at Summit Business Guides on Facebook, or send me a note at ryan@summitbusinessguides.com. Join us next week when I'll be talking with local entrepreneur Teresa Irving from the veterans group Warrior Rising to hear more about her journey in becoming a leader in West Michigan.
You've been listening to Leading West Michigan with Ryan Howe, a weekly program where you hear success stories of local officials and business leaders. Join us next week for more of Leading West Michigan right here on 102.7 WMOM. Thanks for making us #1. I'm proud to be awarded the Small Business